you know what's so funny also is back in my athlete era, so all of my exes were convinced that I was the best gift giver in the entire world, which I know is the complete opposite of what I just described. And yes, I actually was, even though it was completely based in manipulation, but you know, who cares? Listen to what genius gift I would give them. So back in the day, my mom introduced me to this woman that she knew through work, and she was this incredible artist. And when I started dating Red Sox player man, I remember just being like, this man is making so much money. He has everything he would need. How do I make myself memorable? And I kind of knew that like our relationship was on the rocks. So I would never, like, I feel like I'm always the person that would be like, never get a man a gift if he doesn't like you. But I knew that this could possibly end in a couple months, and I wanted to get him a gift that would be so beautifully manipulative that he could never forget me. You know what I mean? Like, guys, let's just regress a little bit right here, just because I just read you the most like gorgeous, loving book. Like, oh, Alex, you're so healthy. Back to the basics. Manipulate the fuck out of a man so he never forgets you. So, Red Sox man, as you guys know, was 13 years older than me, was making $16 million a year, and I didn't have a dollar to my name at the time in college. And so I'm like, how can I come up with something that no woman will ever have gotten him? And I come up with this genius idea. So he plays baseball, and I was like, okay, what if I get one of his teammates to get me one of his bats? And I am going to essentially write down a list of all of our inside jokes, our nicknames for each other, the places we've been together, the food that we like to eat, like everything that is our life together. And I'm going to have this artist basically like graffiti ink the entire baseball bat with all of our inside jokes and everything. So I get the baseball bat from his friend and I send it to this artist, and I spend so many hours on the phone with her for like about a month being like, this is the inside joke. Like we had this thing with like a monkey. I forget what the fuck that was. Was that me like hanging from the ceiling while we're fucking? I don't know. Like there was crazy shit. Okay. Crazy sexual shit, crazy stuff that was just fun. And so I had this woman to a T paint every single inch of this bat. And by the time the bat was over, we were over. And so I was not seeing him anymore, but I'm like, I've got this bat. And so I remember I drive to his apartment and I leave it with his doorman, and I leave a little note saying Merry Christmas, like wish you the best in this like next chapter of your life or whatever. Cause like I was over it. I think I was dating someone new at the time, whatever. But again, we always want them to be in love with us, even if we're not in love with them. You know what I mean? I get a call from him later that night, and he is like, Alex Cooper, I'm in shock right now. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm sitting in my bedroom on my bed. My family is in my living room. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed to admit, like I just started crying. I don't think anyone's ever given me a nicer gift in my life. And I'm like, oh. He's in shock. He's like, this is the nicest thing that I've ever gotten from anyone. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm so happy you like it. Like, obviously we're not together anymore, but like, I had made it before, so I just figured you could have it, whatever. Fast forward, I remember it was the beginning of the Barstool days. So now this is like 4 years later. And 4 years later, I've seen this man have like 3 other girlfriends online and everything. And I guess he was moving to a new state because he was moving teams. And I get a picture, and it's his storage unit. And he's like, I'm clearing everything out, but you know what's coming with me? And he sent me a picture of the bat. And he's like, still to this day, like never had anyone top this gift, like thinking of you, miss you, and love you. And I was like, oh my God, wish you would have said that to me like when I was in college, because like I would have loved to know you loved me. But it was crazy to know that like that was so a huge part of, now I know he probably still has it to this day. Or maybe not, you know, because maybe like his wife was like, get rid of that fucking piece of shit. Anyways, on to the next. So the artist and I then had this joke, because Daddy Gang, it didn't stop there. It got maniacal, okay? Every athlete that I dated and had like a real relationship with, so I would say 3 of them, I'd used this artist when game time came to game time and we needed to reel them in, and she would make me a fucking either. So that was a bat. The next boy was another baseball player, and I call her, and it's like, I would say it's like September, and I'm not shitting, I shit you not, this woman answers the phone and she goes, what athlete's next? Because my mom had told her I broke up with Red Sox guy. And I'm like, so this guy's on the Mets. We got to ramp it up. It can't be a bat because I know that he would find out that I did it for the other one. And so I had her put together his number, and she drew his number, and inside of his number, she created the world of New York City and all of our memories and everything together. And I framed it, and it's this huge photo that looks like his number from far away. I think you've seen pictures like this before, but when you get closer, his number is made up of all of our memories together, our names, our nicknames, the places we've been, everything. And so this hung up in his bedroom forever. And then door number 3. Do you guys remember door number 3? I did a similar thing for him. Did I do a bat for him? I think I did a bat for him. Anyways, I would call this woman up and I would say, we got another one on deck. And what I will say is, although it was a lightly based off of manipulation of like, how do I get them to fall in love? And I like knew like no athlete is getting like a really sentimental gift from a girl. That I will say, once I got out of that era of my life, that's how I knew I really liked Matt, was when I was like, you know what? I'm retiring. I'm not calling the artist again. This is a new era and I can't use the same tactics and formula with Matt. I also knew that like I would probably tell the story one fucking day, and I didn't want Matt to be like, oh, you just grouped me in with the guys that hit the balls for a living. Like, okay, like Matt deserved respect, and also the fact that, I don't know, like it just was meant to be that I retired that concept. And so, yeah, but that was another good one. If you find an artist, make them something really, really sentimental. Again, like you'll get your hooks in them so easily. It's just such a good way to utilize manipulation during the holiday time. Do you know what I mean? Hi Daddy Gang, thank you so much for watching this video. Keep in mind that was just a little clip from the episode. If you want to watch the entire full video episode, it is linked below. It's the first thing in the description. Go watch it. It's a great episode. Love you all. I will see you next Wednesday.